Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's the 19th of May 2024, 11:12 a.m. We just missed the angel synchronicity, but I've already had a very spiritual morning. I've been out and made offerings to the fairy realms at my Sacred Space garden. So I've decided to re-innovate that practice because it's good for me to honor the spirits and of the land that I live upon, and to have that connection. It's kind of a more regular practice, given that I haven't been inside a Jewish temple in quite some years now. I have to maintain my connection to the Holy One and all manifestations in my own quiet little shamanic way. And I've been lapsed. I mean, I do pray regularly, and I do have constant communication, but it's important when dealing with fairy spirits, fairy energies, to maintain your little offerings and show honor and respect, because it's kind of like rude to start something and then to withhold it. And I don't like being teased when people tease me and withhold their affections and play emotional games with me as a mortal. So why would I behave in the same way to the unseen ones that are protecting and blessing this land and this home and my own mortal self at times? So yes, Charlie got to lick what was left in the little milk jug of milk and honey, so she got a little bit of an offering too. And the rest I put out in the garden for the fairies. But also any wild animal that comes along will probably enjoy the little bit of leftover milk and honey that was left after I'd made my offerings. So we're all happy here at Sacred Space, aren't we, Charlie? We're keeping our contract with the gods, the Holy One, and all manifestations. We are deifying, we are becoming, and yes, I'm feeling very blessed and very grateful this morning, although I'm still rather tired, so still a bit wrung out. But anyway, that is what it is. I was up about 4 times during the night, so an average night, not too bad. But the night before I was only up twice, and I found even just that little bit of less interruption. I had a lot more energy last night. Actually made a massive big pumpkin and potato and celery soup. I even threw one little cherry tomato that was from my garden in it. Not that you would notice the flavour because it was such a tiny little cherry tomato, but just for a bit of whimsy I threw it in. And it was delicious, and I had that with crusty bread for dinner. And I actually was feeling quite energized last night, but this morning I kind of feel like hell. I mean, I'm happy and contented, but I physically feel quite tired. But that probably means that with all the interruptions getting up during the night, plus my sleep apnea, I wasn't getting enough oxygen and rest. So I'm going to take things easy today. Upon opening my eyes on our world this morning, I thought, maybe I'll take a drive, go to Bribie Island or go somewhere near the sea. And I was all excited about that prospect, but now I can't be bothered. I'm just too tired. Maybe if I feel like it later on, I could just take a quick trip down to Wynnum, because that's only 20 minutes away, 25-minute drive. But I just feel, I feel kind of peaceful, but a bit drained. But we got a lot done yesterday. Mama T cleaned your cage. That was a big job. And I put some protector clear coating on my Viking Talk. I've put another coat on it this morning, so it's got 3 coats. The directions said 3 to 4 coats, so I may think about doing another coat because I want it to not tarnish ever again and not need polishing ever again. And it's a talk that my daughter actually bought for me in Glastonbury in 2000. It would have been late 2017, because she presented it to me when she came back in January 2018. So and it's always had this annoying habit of, when I wear it, it goes immediately on my skin, tarnishes, so because it's bronze. So finally, after all these years, I thought I've got the ability to protect it from doing that. I bought that expensive Protector Clear lacquer to put on metal, so use it or lose it, am I right? So I finally got round yesterday. I started working on it, getting it all schmick, so I can wear it, Charlie, without it going funny on my skin. Clever Mama T. Clever Mummy T. So anyway, it's all happening in a far out way. What else can I tell you? Yeah, that's about it. We're just been in the garden and enjoying the day as it flows through our lives like the sands of the hourglass. These are the days of our lives. And I think maybe the fairies are working on my spirit. I feel kind of on the edge of something, like I should do something really super creative and like start another project or do something. So I'm kind of perched on the edge of just, what I jokingly call anarchy and chaos, but is actually me about to launch myself into some new avenue or new project or new experience. So it's just kind of flowing upwards, and it's a lovely feeling, but I'm just so tired. It's a lovely feeling, but not today, fairies, not today. But they're hard taskmasters. If they set me a muse and they inspire me in something, I can work for days to the point of mania and collapse. So be gentle with me. You have to laugh. Of course, it's my own subconscious, probably re-innovated and wanting to do more things. So it's not all magical fairy stuff. There's psychology behind it too, people. But you have to kind of have a chuckle how it all gets activated whenever I make a commitment to do things, to honour things appropriately. So as they say, as above, so below, as within, so without. I don't know why I've got a hair lick. I hate hair licks. I'll just smooth my hair down a little bit. I kind of brushed it before I came online to make this video, but as I told you, my hair does whatever it wants, whatever. I could have been a supermodel if I was 6'2" and slim and had great hair. All the things I missed out on. Oh, but anyway, short, fat, hobbit, middle-aged witches, we survive. We find our way. We find our way, even with crazy hair, and it is what it is, people. We kind of have to laugh. So on that note, I begin my readings of Even Date, and here we go. Hold on to your Volina Gutkas, people. I don't even know if it's going to be a bumpy ride, or if it's just going to be, my usual spiritual ramblings. But anyway, I started this practice last year, and I've kept it up nearly every day, so I might as well keep going. We're halfway through the year now, and I think I started this in October last year, didn't I? So only a few more months of me getting in your face and reading you all my writings and boring you all to death, and then I'll have to start a new project of creating new material, am I right? Well, we shall see what we shall see. Here we go. Memories, 19th of May, 2024. No more ugliness. Instead, I must create art and a better, kinder life for myself. Be'ezrat Hashem, by the will of God. Here's a beautiful photo. It's not mine. I think it came from Vocal Media, the Unsplash thing. But it's just so beautiful. I thought, oh, I could just float around in that pond and just watch the sun. The sun, I think it's a sunrise or a sunset. It's hard to tell. They look the same, don't they? But anyway, it's just kind of set a nice mood for the readings. The photo is by Johannes Plenio on Unsplash. There you go, Johannes. I even credited you. Sometimes I don't know who the photos come from, and I always feel like it's not really fair. They should be credited. All artists should be valued for their work, and writers, and shamans, and all of us working together to co-create our existence on planet Earth. We should all be honoured and respected for our talents and gifts that we contribute and bring, regardless of what it is. So I've already talked about talked about, you know, what I wrote this morning. So I'll just add to it. I won't read the whole thing because I've already explained it to you, but I said, then I made offerings of milk and honey to my fairy realms with my usual prayers and manifestations. My second offering in 4 days. I have been remiss. It needs to be a regular practice. As a shaman, my relationship with the unseen worlds needs to be honoured and protected and indeed nurtured. My garden is redolent with light and happiness, so I sense that my offerings have been accepted. It's Sunday and I still feel quite tired. I contemplated to take myself out to a beach somewhere for a walk by the sea, but now I'm not sure if I feel like going anywhere. I may just rest today. And as you can see, I'm not exactly resting. I'm making my video log, but it's another practice that I want to continue till it's completed, and then I'll be on another trajectory to something else. Or if my prayers are manifested with harm to none and competition with none, I might even be in another type of lifestyle with a loving partner. But I had to make it very fine-tuned and specific, because one has to allow free will and safety for all entities and all persons considered. And yes, and also got to factor in the mystery and the surprise. The gods know best who is the best person for me, and I've put it in their hands now, since I consistently fucked up with choosing really evil, rotten lovers in the past that were life-threatening. So I consciously and even hopefully unconsciously won't be doing that anymore, you know, because I'm done inviting ugliness into my life. So that's part of what my shamanic offerings were about, is ensuring that the Holy One brings me my Beshet. Beshet is the one who's destined to be your partner, that will love you for the rest of our days together on earth. And that has to be a sacred trust between me and the gods, since I cannot sustain any more fuck-ups with inviting monsters into my life. It's probably why, even though, I'm opening up to love again, why I'm so equally kind of terrified. Because for me, not other women usually, I mean, we all get our hearts broken from time to time, like that's life, but for me, historically, it has always ended up being actually life-threatening. So I just can't do it. But and yet I'm doing it because ultimately you have to trust and love. If you don't trust and love, then love dies inside of you and you just become an empty husk and just literally float away like a tumbleweed, dead inside and misbegotten and forgotten. And I lived that way for a long time too, with the horror and the grief and the trauma left to me by, I won't even name them, they're not worthy of being named, but left to me by the former partners of the past. And it is what it is, and you can't change the history. All you can do is hold your head up high and keep faith in the gods and keep faith in your own heart and mind, and love is the law. Just keep loving and eventually the right person will choose me. That is my prayer, my hope and my manifestation. And maybe the fairy realms and the angels and the ancestors that love me will reveal to me in no uncertain terms who that person is, because at the moment I'm sort of in limbo because I'm seeing lots of affection and sweetness shown to me, but it's not real because that person's not available. So it's kind of another block that will lead probably nowhere and will cause me more distress, which I don't want. And I certainly don't want to cause that person distress either, because he's a lovely, lovely person. And real love makes allowances and creates space for people to be the best version of themselves and to love in such a way that it is sacred and holy and gifted from pure heart space, and will not allow any sabotage or viciousness or taintedness to be slathered upon it by external forces, including, envy and spite from others, as happened with the last lover 10 years ago. So I'm very conscious of that even when I fall in love, people see my love and my joy, and they use that as an opportunity to whet and whelp and cut me down to size out of envy and spite. It's been a long, long history of that, and I don't fear it so much because I've survived it and I've outlasted it and I've outdistanced it. It's been like a fucking marathon. I'm still holding the baton, but I'm just tired. I just don't want to go through that ever again. So my prayers I put out this morning with my offerings were that our love is protected and guided by the archangels, and that they ensure, because they can see into the hearts and minds of mortals, that they ensure this person is the absolute best possible person for me, who will treat me with kindness and deep love and honour and integrity and sweetness and happiness, and that our friends and family accept each other into our lives as my partner and I'm accepted as his partner, and that our community, instead of tearing down as used to happen in the past, will instead build up and encourage and protect and inspire and motivate, because they will see that the love between us is real and true. And I guess it's just a matter of time till I work out who that person truly is, who was truly meant to be with me. And I know it all sounds very nebulous and fey and almost magical thinking, because I've never experienced anything like this up till my current time. Not even the constant devoted sweet overtures, and haven't ever experienced that before in my life, seriously. You know, I mean, I've had male friends. My best male friend, Jared, has been in my life for 32 years. But I'm talking on that level where it's kind of a romantic, you know, kind of a seductive kind of a dance that's being played out between us. And, well, time will tell if it's real or not. And I hope that when reality brings me down to land, that it's not going to be a hard smack on the ass, but a gentle kind of gnosis that just says, okay, all right, this is what we've got to work with, and this is what we'll have together, and if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And no harm, no foul, no interminable grief, because I don't have time on this planet to waste in any more interminable grief over a false, lackluster fucking dickhead. I literally do not have the psychic energy or the physical energy to invest in another false love affair. And so that's why I'm happy and I'm excited, but on another level I'm kind of just circumspect and watching and waiting to see who is real, what is real, who is true, who has my back, my front and my sides, and who is totally for me, you know. Mama T's got silly in old age, I really have. But then I was always a romantic, even as a young girl. I just hit it a little bit better when I was younger, I guess, as a life-preserving thing. Thank God I did too. I mean, Davidson found out how much I loved him when he crossed the veil. He must have done his life review and seen how much damage he'd done to me and got to experience it from the other side, and hence he was running to my door, smashing down my door, trying to get my attention and my forgiveness. Well, 16 years later, too little, too late, boy chick. But this is what happens when you destroy women's hearts and minds. Sooner or later, you've got to face your own evil and get a taste of it yourself, what it was you put people through. I'm sure I wasn't the only one either, because he was a sociopath, but it is what it is, people. I'm looking forward to a good, kind, loving man choosing me for a beautiful life together, and if it never happens and it just remains a fantasy, then that too is my fate. And at least in my life review, when I cross over, I won't have hopefully too much guilt and shame, because I've tried to keep my life very pristine and honourable, at least in the last 10 years, when I realised I was slipping down into my own fucking hell loop from the rage and the grief imposed upon me by others. So I had to literally put the skids on that. Didn't want to become the same level of monstrosity that they were, anything like them. So, Charlie, I don't want you climbing on the curtains. Come here. Because Mama just cleaned them the other day. And, you know, I don't like repeating the same job over and over and over again ad nauseum. I like to complete a task and then let it go and be done with. It's probably the same way I feel about my love life, actually. When it goes bad and it's over, just, I'm done, move on. It's a bit hard to move on when you're left with cumulative fucking trauma because they kept trying to kill you. So there is that. Anyway, let us continue with my readings and see what else I feel inspired to emote about today. For the love of all the gods. 19th of May, she's going to poo. Wait, get the cloth there ready. Right, there you go. Today I'm going to the city to buy some sterling silver wire for my projects. The sun is shining. I feel happy and positive. I spent the morning fixing up a fork ring I made. The stone I had glued on it fell off yesterday, but that was a good thing, as it meant I could go back in and finish decorating with a ball burr the sterling silver part which was under the red tiger eye bead. I also made it a size smaller as it was too loose on my finger. There, try and get it. Oh yeah, there it is. So yes, I was quite happy with that. Very happy with that. Let me see, what else have we got here? I wasn't going to show you the back, but what the hell, I might as well show you the back since I bothered to post it. It's quite a nice ring I made from a pickle fork. So, in sterling silver. I'm waiting for a spoon, or I can't remember if I bought a spoon or a fork now, but I'm waiting for something to arrive from America. It's taken forever to arrive. Getting a bit annoyed. I usually only take a week or, 2 at the most, so getting a bit frustrated. But it had a very pretty pattern, and I thought that'll make a beautiful ring. So I bought it. And I'm excited about it. It's hopefully arriving in a week or 2. Surely it won't take that much longer. That's the thing when you buy things from overseas. If they go missing, you're out of money, right? So it's always kind of an anxiety for me, because it's a big risk for me, since I don't have a lot of money. Mama tea, Charlie. Mama tea. So here we go, continue reading. 19th of May 2022. Watching Love on the Spectrum on Netflix. I'm feeling slightly awkward that I too have never had a proper relationship or dated successfully in decades. I don't even have autism, so I can attribute my lack of socialization in neurotypical ways to my complex PTSD and the murderous cunts I attracted to myself for years. Sighs. I ponder if I should be brave and attempt dating again, but can I sustain it? The actual dates without getting the heebie-jeebies or rolling my eyes or getting weirded out. I had a debrief with my psych yesterday, and he reminded me that after my suicide attempt in 2015, I stated bluntly that I simply cannot bear any more ugliness, that I was done, and I was indeed. I was actually really astonished that I had survived it and was still alive, because I was so fucking done. I actually wanted it all to end, quite frankly. And I have no regrets either, because it was just so immense, the evil that I was put through. It's like, just so immense. And here I continue. There had been so much vicious ugliness. So he wishes for me that I continue to create beauty in my life with my art and my love for life and this planet, in spite of all the horror and ugliness. And it's kind of cruel that I was cast back to earth to survive during this COVID epoch with lack of money and resources and no home of my own and no real protection. So I had to fight my way through that for the last 4 years as well. Meanwhile, kind of hoping, rather Pollyanna-ish, to find my true love partnership. It's, when you think about it, it's utterly absurdist and ridiculous, given what I know about life and my life and the kinds of people I had invited into it in the past. And it's utterly risk-taking to open up to love ever again. And yet, naively, I seem to keep doing it. It's like miraculous, people, utterly miraculous. I can only pray that the next time, my heart is treated with deep reverence and honour and sweetness and kindness and, loved back instead of trash like was done in the past. He also wishes that I invite love back into my life one day. My psychiatrist is a bit of a romantic and an idealist too. It's why we get along so well. We get each other. How many more decades of therapy will that take? And 2 years later, and I'm choosing love again, and it hasn't taken a decade. It's only taken 2 years to start to very tentatively blossom out again, like a little sea anemone putting out little tendrils and flowing in the slipstream of life, and the first sign of trouble wanting to retreat, and then gently pushing myself out there again. It's nothing short of miraculous, people, but of course other humans don't understand that. They haven't lived my lifestyle, so they can't comprehend how fucking magical and miraculous my love really is, nor how badly it was trashed by monsters over and over and over again. No, Charlie, look, you'll go in your cage. You're being naughty. So here I'll repeat, how many more decades of therapy will that take? It's a rhetorical question. If the right person arrives in my life, I will know. Will I though? Will I really? Hence the shamanic offerings to fine-tune things and make sure that I don't make any more mistakes with my own heart, because it's that freaking kintsugi'd and also that precious that I need to protect and preserve it. No more cruel, vapid, sadomasochistic games. No more ugliness. Later that day, I posted a photograph of my new kitchen mixer on my sink. Can you see it? Oh, yeah. You kind of have to laugh. I've had to fight for everything, including that. Here I write, update, integrity is everything, and so is gratitude. So after my fair bloody bollocking about the Housing Commission maintenance call centre argumentative, insane creature. I actually, when I rang to request that it needed replacing, had a massive fight with a male at the call centre, because during COVID, they must have got rid of all their admin staff or some bizarre thing. So you were dealing with some male that had no empathy and no respect for women and would start fighting me. And I had to fight for basic maintenance on my property here, which grinds my gears. So anyway, after having this massive fight with some walked-in COVIDian creature, not even human anymore, this is the result. A lovely new mix master installed by a lovely Scottish plumber. Thank you to my ancestors for getting things fixed. Also, my infamous Pictish temper. I actually thought it was quite delightful that it was a Scotsman that came to put in the thing, because my ancestors were Scottish, and Solkin came to my aid, right? Am I right yet again? It's constantly my Celtic ancestors that come to fight and defend me or get things done in recent years, and it's a bit astonishing. I didn't really have much connection to my father's patrilineal line because my father was such a fucking asshole. I kind of detached from all of that. And now, in old age, it's my Celtic, Irish or Scottish or English ancestors that will come into bat for me and, again, bring that energy into my home, make sure things get done. It's a little bit spooky, people, but I don't argue with that or question it. But God send me the right people to achieve my aims, and I'm grateful and happy. The kitchen cupboard door was fixed on Monday, but the cabinet maker told me that it's still dodgy, so he will be replacing the door. Never did, never came back to replace the door. It's still dodgy as fuck. But you know what? I don't care. As long as I can still use things and it's usable, I'm not sweating the small stuff. But one really does need a working mix master in the sink. Like, that was crucial, people, for the love of all the gods. As I stated, it needed doing several years prior. I mean, I actually really need a whole new kitchen. It's all getting very, very grotty and tired looking. I've been here 21 years, but they're waiting me out, hoping I die soon so they can bulldoze the house and sell off the land to developers and make a huge profit. It's that evil. It's that mercenary and evil. So as I said to the housing inspector, I said, I'm staying alive if for no other reason than to spite Housing Commission. It's gonna be a long fucking stalemate, people. But you kind of have to laugh. He even said, "You go, girl." He thought it was hilarious, but it's true. It really is that true. I said, also, if I leave this land, they'll kill all the trees, and I don't want the trees destroyed. You know, they mow all the trees down to put these fucking ugly, echoing, empty Besser block mausoleums up. Your neighbour's got this lovely looking home across the road. It echoes like a bell. They're not even built properly. It's shit. And for that, they murdered all the trees. And by the way, upset all the wildlife and the fairy realms as well. I had to make offerings on their land over there while they were in the process of building, because the outpouring of grief from the fairy realms I could actually sense. And it was not good mojo. It was not going to bring luck to any of us. I didn't want to be a curse because I happened to live next door to their desecration of the land. So I actually made little offerings to appease the spirits on their land too. Admittedly for my own benefit, since I live next door, but, you know, by the gods, human beings are just They're just such selfish, anti-nature, violent, crass, greedy, corrupt fucking imps now, you know. At least my ancient Celtic ancestors lived in harmonic resonance with the land and built accordingly. No, well, most of us aren't even fully human anymore, let's face it. We've all been altered now. But this was actually 3 years ago. So yeah, they were doing that during the COVID epoch as well. But they're all doing it. They chop down every single tree and leave nothing but a wasteland, and then put up these quite, often ugly looking homes. Well, some of them are quite nice, but my resentment is about them killing all the trees. You could at least leave some on the side, like there's no need for that behaviour. It's just crass. Yes, Charlie. You didn't know it, Charlie, but your mother's a bit of a druid as well as a shaman. Well, not really, but at least I care about the trees. Yes, Charlie. Anyway, I continue writing. So I am satisfied and contented with my lot, as it was dangerous and insane-making having the broken door, which fell down and nearly crushed Bobo's skull, nearly fell on top of him, and the non-usable mixmaster. So thank you, Queensland Government. Cheers, smiley face. And you can read between the lines there was lashings of sarcasm even written into that. Shouldn't have to fight for basic human rights and basic maintenance on your property, by the way. Should not have to go into battle mode. It's insulting, and it's soul depleting, and it's utterly ridiculous, especially when they've sold off so many homes here and made huge profits and not invested it back into homes for hundreds of thousands of homeless people. It's just a disgrace. What are they doing with all that money they're making by selling off the stock? Where's it going? Oh, that's right, wars in the Ukraine and very expensive bioengineered drugs. It's all horse shit is what it is. Horse shit. 19th of May 2021. Mustn't work myself up into a tizzy, people. It's not good for me. At the end of the day, nothing's going to change. I'll just get upset and I'll be ill. Nothing will change. So that too is horse shit, wasting my psychic energy on fucking idiots. Oh, I went to show you the photo and all you saw was the matchbox. I'm losing it, people. I'm losing it. I bought this lovely little antique little tiny mirror, which I thought was delightful. I'd like to learn how to do that. That's called repoussé, where you need special tools, of course, but you hammer the pattern into the silver. It's just gorgeous. Anyway, here I write. I bought this on an eBay auction, very cheap. I was surprised I won the auction, actually. With postage, it cost me $33.40. A bargain. Why is my skull facing the wrong way? Get your head together, man. Don't give up, man. Hold it. Steer a straight course and hold your head together. I'm not going to cut it up. It will look great as a charm on my charm necklace. The one that has a chatelaine my mother bought me for attaining my school certificate. That was back when I was 15 years old. "19th of May 2021. Socks just devoured his biscuits like a drowning man yearning for fresh water." Oh, he's a hungry lad. My beautiful boy. I miss you, Socks. You were an awesome cat, but you were a galloping gourmand and a bit of a fatty foodie, but that's okay, because so am I. My precious one, awaiting me in Valhalla too. Yes, Charlie, maybe we should get another cat, Charlie. Should we get another cat or a doggy? She says, no, Mama, the grief is terrible when they die. She said, you're still not over it. It's true, I'm not over it. I'll never be over it. That's how immensely awful it all was. 19th of May 2020, comment from 19th of May 2020 on a video I made. I see they've taken down the link to the video by the looks of it, so that's a bit odd. Or maybe I didn't put it up. Anyway. Correction, Case was my paedophile de facto stepfather of 23 years until his death. I call him a paedophile because he harassed me sexually all throughout my childhood, right up until I was pregnant with my first child. Actually, he made some kind of weird fucking sexual overture to me. My family of origin were really that disgusting and evil, and I try not to think about them usually because they just make you want to vomit right in your mouth. They were that foul. They really were. I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. So Trevor Singh was my paedophile godfather. Really, it makes no real difference, as they both had strong but perverted influences on my life, which affected every aspect of my adult life, in particular forming safe, trustworthy relationships with men, which I'm hoping after 25 years of therapy, I'm finally able to do that now. It's been a long, hard road having to choose to stay on my own. Even the friends of the band that befriended me or one of them was friendly to me on Friday night while I was dancing, his opening gambit was, are you here on your own? People were so judgmental about women being on their own. It doesn't occur to them that we have to be on our own to keep ourselves fucking safe. Some of us. So anyway, we didn't swap names, but he said to me, are you here on your own? And I said, yes, I'm always on my own. Then he looked at me a bit astonished, and I said, if I don't go out on my own, then I'll never have any fun at all. And I looked at him meaningfully, and then he kind of took the kind of energetic barb I threw at him for even questioning me as to why I'm on my own, because I actually find that a bit fucking offensive in a way. It's nobody's business why you're out on your own. You're an adult woman, you choose how you live your life, right? Anyway, he was a nice man. He thought about it momentarily, he caught the barb, and then he looked at me and said, oh, I hear what you're saying, which I nodded. I thought, right, he's understood that I'm saying I'm on my own for a fucking reason, and don't go there, guy friend, And then he kind of, just warmed up to me and was, very polite and very pleasant, and proceeded to tell me that he was, they're all friends of the band and that they've danced for them for 5 or 6 years. And I nodded and I said, oh, that's really lovely. I said, I've danced for them for 13 or 14, it's almost 14 years actually, 13 years at least. And then we both kind of chuckled, It was a bit bizarre. But this is the thing, my manifestation and my prayer for the one. I'm not saying that my friend in the band is the one because he's unavailable. I'm not saying that, but it's just, this is the energy that I'm wanting to see around people that claim that they love me. Is I want to see that their friends, include me and accept me and welcome me into their realm. And I want to be I want to be in it. Yeah, I want to be accepted, because in all my other relationships in the past with men, their friends often turned savage and vicious, and a few of them even actively threatened me with violence. One threatened me with a samurai sword, which was fucking astonishing, and he was never going to win that battle because it was an ornament in a frame behind his head, and he was out of his mind on drugs anyway. And I was sober, and my ex-boyfriend just caught the look in my eye, because in a split second, because I'm a trauma survivor, I had already navigated that I could get the sword before him and cut his head off first. And there was just this look in my eye, which Courtney noticed that I had already, as a true warrior goddess, had worked out the scenario of how I was going to survive that situation, how it was going to play out. And nothing was said, just my look. And Courtney turned to me and went, "Don't do it, Tanya. Don't fucking do it." And I'm like, and I just got up and said, "I'm leaving now," because I knew it was touch and go. Don't fucking threaten me with a sword, dudes. So I've been threatened with a teeny tiny lady pistol. I've been threatened, last year I was vaguely kind of threatened with being stabbed, which was ironic because I dreamt about that 6 months prior. Like, these are the people that were supposed to be friends or associates, or, people that claimed they love me. So, it's very important to me that if I begin another love partnership with a man, that his friends actually are decent, kind, honouring people who include me and don't fucking threaten me with anything, ever. Because I don't know how long I can maintain being a decent, good person and not fucking overreacting. I mean, that night back in 2010, when that happened with Courtney's mate Skatey, it was touch and go. It really was touch and go. I thought, oh my God, if I have to protect myself to the point that I have to kill someone else, I'm prepared to do it. And that, my friends, was utterly terrifying. Utterly terrifying. And I'm grateful it didn't go that far, but it was not pretty. And anyway, after that, my ex Courtney used to regularly threaten me with, his other mate, Donnie. "Oh, Donnie's going to get you." I protected Donnie. I told Donnie to get his compensation from the Christian Brothers. I wanted to see Donnie get justice and prosper a little bit. I mean, you get fuck all money from those filthy, predating, pedophile bastards, but it's just a matter of principle. So Donnie, I said, why would Donnie want to beat me up? I've done nothing to Donnie. Oh, and then he threatened me with his other mate, who was very, very fucking scary and a neo-Nazi. He wanted to threaten me with him. Noel was his name. I won't say his whole name because I don't want to stir up fucking hornets' nests. But I said to him, Noel wants to kill me? Noel loves this Jewish girl. I have sat in his caravan while he tattooed Skatey, and he even made me a lovely cup of tea, and he was nothing but kind and decent to me. I said, this Jewish girl. By the way, it was very confronting and terrifying because he had bloody pictures of swastikas all over his caravan. And I'm just looking at everything thinking this is the most surreal and bizarre experience of my life. What the fuck? But no, he did not threaten me at all, Noel. But they used to threaten me with Noel. They obviously thought he was the scariest of all their friends, right? That was going to get me. Get me for what? For being polite and courteous and respectful while in his home. Unlike you fucking feted animals. What's he gonna get me for? Oh, well, neo-Nazis hate fucking Jews, don't they? So he's gonna come and get you and kill you. I just laughed my ass off. I really did. I was like, okay, all right, well, let's call him right now, shall we? Ring up Noel and ask him what he wants to do to this Jewish girl. They just looked at me, and Courtney looked at Skatey and said, yeah, he said, Noel fucking loves Tanya. He said, I don't understand it because all she did was show up. He said, but he loves her. I burst out laughing because I said, yes, he even offered to, quote unquote, fuck me when you and I break up. And I said, that's not going to happen. I don't go around sleeping with friends of exes. Apart from the fact that he was a neo-Nazi, and that would be really fucking weird. I don't go slathering around with my vagina, crawling after friends of exes to prove some weird, fucked up, sexual, psycho, perverted, dynamic idea of revenge. That's just crass. It won't ever happen. I can guarantee that. I need a new man who totally loves me and has lovely, kind, noble, decent friends. That's what I need out of life. Anyway, that was all back in 2009, 2010, and I haven't had a boyfriend since because I'm not going there unless it's someone really, really wonderful and trustworthy and kind and noble and honouring of me and my spirit and my Jewish witch shamanic walk. And who's going to take me on anyway, sitting in Housing Commission on a disability, struggling with exhaustion and, my usual trauma issues. No one's going to take me on. So the best they can do is flirt with me a little bit and stir me up and juice me up a little bit in my energy meridians and get me all excited and wind me up and see what I do, right? I think that's kind of what's going on, really. They're just stirring me up. But they're playing, if they are playing a game, it's a dangerous game because, as I said to my friend recently, I'm a real woman. I do have sexual feelings. I've just oppressed them and repressed them for decades. But fuck me. If I let those real energies out again, open up to someone, it's going to be intense and probably a bit frightening and a bit powerful because I've repressed them for 14 years. I had to survive, I just had to. And I hope the next time I open up to taking a lover, it'll be a beautiful experience and someone who deeply loves me, because I'm done dealing with the fake and the trashy and the violent and the weird and the fucking awful and the ugly, the good, the bad and the ugly, the long and the short and the tall. I mean, you kind of have to laugh. It is really almost like a spaghetti western. It really is. It's that bizarre. But at least I can laugh about it, I suppose. Laughter's the best medicine. Anyway. Forming safe, trustworthy relationships with men has been difficult, people. Very fucking difficult. But I'm old now. I'm older now. Sure. Oh, Charlie, another poo on my laptop. My goodness. I'm sure that in the right time, appointed by the gods and the fairy realms, they'll bring me the right man who's not a psychopath or a monster, who just will adore me for me, even with my weird histories. More weird than the average frickin' bear, by the way. By the gods, I was put through the mill. But that was my shamanic walk. I didn't understand at the time what was happening, and that I was being tested and whittled down and broken and rebuilt and broken and rebuilt and broken and rebuilt over and over again, because it was part of my spiritual awakening and part of the catharsis, I suppose. Anyway, here I continue writing. I have had to be my own man and own woman, own mother and own father longer than I can remember, at a time in my early childhood when I was surrounded by 4 father figures and 2 mummies. By that I mean my own mother and my 15 years older sister, who had to take on the mothering role up until she got married when I was 5, because my mother was such a fucking selfish asshole and a narcissist. She prioritised work and money over looking after her infant daughter properly. So my caregiving was, meted out to whoever happened to be in the home at the time. My 15-year-old sister when I was a newborn, and those other fucking predators. It is what it is, people. Although, to be fair, I have no memories of it. They didn't sexually predate on me until I was 6 years old, but it's possible it happened at a younger age, but I just have no memories of that. So let's hope not anyway. It was bad enough that it started when I was 6. So but growing up in a house full of adults where you're not safe with any of them, priceless. And they helped me screw me out of my rightful inheritance, by the way. So they really were shit cunts and evil beyond words. And that's partly why I have this residual fury still in me that every now and then I conflagrate, because it wasn't right, it wasn't fair, it wasn't noble, it wasn't decent, and I should never have been put through any of that, even from the very beginning at 6 years of age, by the way. My psychiatrist made a valid point in therapy a few weeks ago. I should not ever trust in women either, after the number that my own mother, half-sister, and later in life, female friends did on me. And he's quite correct on that. I often am more forgiving and more, maybe forgiving isn't the word, but more tolerant or understanding of the females that are around me, given my history of sexual abuse. But often they were more savage and more subversively damaging to me than any of the men in my family of origin or the subsequent husband and lovers I got involved with later. They were beyond savage. So this is why I don't fit into ordinary human society, and I will never fit. I'm always going to be an oddball and an outlier, and I'm always going to be on the fringes of society, because that's my life, that's my walk, my life path. I can't trust in humanity. I just can't. It hasn't been safe to do so ever. And we'll just stick with the birdies, won't we, Charlie? Have a look at this. It's actually quite delightful. What you doing, Charlie? You're sitting on top of the laptop. You want to say hello to the people? Say hello to people, Charlie. Say hello, people. No, no. Oh, hello. I said hello when I took the phone away. I love you, Charlie. Anyway, as I said, as my psychiatrist said, I should not ever have trusted in any of the women in my life either, which is true. But life is all about finding your tribe and making mistakes and trusting often the wrong people, as we can't possibly predict with any sort of accuracy how monstrous people can or will get. But now I trust my own inner red flags. Abuse starts off with tiny infractions, almost trivial, but it soon conflagrates into immense horror if you are not awake to it. The stuff you brush aside or slip third base sooner or later burns down your home and destroys your life, literally and figuratively. Still in 2020. Last night, while going through stuff, I found 3 love letters from Case to my mother. These would have been written, in 73 and 74. I have offered them to Crystal to read in case she wants to keep them. She was fond of her Uncle Case. So he was the only grandfather they really had. My father wasn't around, fortunately, because he was an arsehole. But I couldn't trust Case alone with my children. I never left them alone with him for even a minute. He just was that much of a predator. But they didn't know. They were little kids, They didn't notice how I would always be hot on their heels. If he called them into a room, I'd be right behind them. He looked me in my face one time, said, "You don't trust me." I said, "Why would I? Knowing what I know about you, there's no way in hell I'll ever leave you alone with my girls. Not even for a minute." He just looked at me. "Otherwise I will burn them." I had to laugh at how his stingy personality shone through. And you can see his handwriting there, and can't really read it because it's just, I don't know why it copied across in columns like that. But anyway, he was very soppy and romantic and wrote quite sweetly to my mother, and my mother bought it hook, line and sinker. He even referred to me as the bonus, which is reading between the lines, really fucking disgusting. So, but he was my family from the age of 9 right up until, I was 29 when he died. So that can't be right. Yeah, I was 29. No, I was 30. I was 30 and a half when he died. Anyway, he'd been in my life all that time, and he was family in the sense he'd been my mother's partner for 23 years. So, can't be 23 years because we met him on the cruise going over to Europe. We met him when we disembarked in Rotterdam. I was 8. What's 8 to 30? 22 years. So anyway, oh, for the love of God, I've lost it now. Oh no, here it is. Thank goodness. My laptop's doing weird things. I woke up with a cough. I know it's not COVID, but it's going to be a drag with full-blown asthma, having every paranoid maniac thinking I have COVID. Just as well Crystal made me a mask. That whole thing was such insanity. All of it still is insane beyond belief. I can be grateful that I had such a fucked up, perverted, distorted, disturbed childhood that I could see through the bullshit. Really, truly. 19th of May 2019, 11:11 a.m. I had a great night last night with my gorgeous friends, now utterly exhausted but content with my lot. Only fly in my ointment is Scummo and the Liberals were voted back in. Australia, what has become of you? Courting Nazis and abusers and climate destroyers like this. Harrowing. But I will continue my life as normal until the inevitable revolution. Mama T will not go quietly into a hell that you all permitted. Naturally, smiley face. I voted Greens for the first time in my life. That is how passionate I am about not voting in the corrupt earth destroyers and violators of women's rights. But now we are in the thick of the Handmaid's Tale and 1984. Terrifying. See you on the flip side, I guess. And you can't trust Greens either. They all were pro that COVID bullshit too, and they're also anti-Israel, and they're all dangerous. All the parties are dangerous. And I don't want to vote for anyone. I really don't. I trust none of them. They're all worse than animals, in my opinion. So my friend Julie Butler wrote, "We're deaf neck up in it now, Tanya." And I replied, "I'm extruding blood everywhere, metaphorically right now. But soon we will be drenched in our own blood if we don't fight for ourselves and our rights." I saw on a group I am a member of some dickwad proclaiming he voted Liberal to protect his retirement fund. Greed, selfishness and misogyny is the only rule of law these days. It's even worse now, 4 years later, by the way. That greed of doctors that got them to remain silent when they knew they were complicit in our gene alteration, by the way. Evil beyond belief. I am grateful for my mind, my hobbit warrior goddess body, even if it is bunged up with excess bile and a flagging gallbladder. My survival and high hopes of thrival, my dog, cats, birds, fish, garden, and my soul family of true friends and my daughter, even if she is not always on the same page as me. Well, she's drifted off now too. Just you and me, Charlie. You and me holding the line. Come here. Come on. Yes, you was a good girl. Here I posted a meme. Don't be surprised how quickly the universe moves once you've decided. And by the gods, that's been proven to me true even in recent memory. When you decide that you're choosing love no matter what and life no matter what, everything gets green lighted, and it's been a bit astonishing actually. Very astonishing. Here I write, God has certainly moved many times in my life, like a dung beetle shoveling shit from one part of the park to another. Same day, same shit. Location, location, location. What is my vocation? to strive to stay alive in a world gone mad. May 19th, 2018. Oh, bless. Just some lovely little photos of my one and only Bo, my beautiful boy. I miss him so much. May 19th, 2017. Busy day. I washed all the window tracks. Are we still filming? Oh my goodness, we fell off. I washed all the window tracks, did the dishes, took down the kitchen window and washed it too. Still have lots of furniture to wash down, too dirty for dusting, lol, but made a lot of progress. I even fixed my hoop petticoat that has been lying around for months. I can wear my crinoline style evening skirt again. Now the petticoat is back in order. Should wear that again actually. I haven't worn it in a long time. It's a lovely skirt. I guess it looks a little bit too ball gownish for the Brooklyn standard, but fuck it. What do I care? I wear whatever I feel like, people. But I might. It looks great with my corset too. I even fixed my hoop. Oh, no, I'm repeating there. Wait a minute. Sorry, I'm drifting away. I'm so tired. Back in the room, Tanya Aarons. I hung up the curtains properly that hide the hats and or bags and assorted stuff in the cupboard in the spare room. I hung them up on the cupboard in the spare room. Just need to cut them shorter and hem them. Little annoying jobs that have been staring at me for several years. Not sure about cutting the curtains short as they actually belong to Crystal, so might just leave them as they are. But it looks much nicer now they are hung properly. Oh, it's such a nice feeling to actually have clean floors. It's one of my blocks, people. I'm not fond of mopping, vacuuming floors, so they get done for me by my cleaning lady, which is nice, but sometimes it gets dirty in between times and I still have to kind of clean them. But anyway, I hate mopping floors. I'm not fond of doing dishes either. I like washing. I'm always washing clothes and bed linens, and I love washing, hanging washing out in the line and bringing it in. I don't mind doing that. But all the other housework, meh, it's just too boring. That's the trouble, people, is I can't abide boredom. But anyway, I got up on a chair and cleaned the metal lampshades and cleaned the sun catchers as well. My back has been hurting all day, which I presume is due to the wet weather, i.e. rheumatism and or arthritis. But I have had a nice, cool, wet day to get stuff done. I hung up one of my mother's tapestries last night. It looks nice too. I need to buy 2 wooden blinds for the front living room. I might check out op shops as sometimes they have them, but they are really wide windows, so might be hard to get the right size. Still haven't done that. Or I can string up some old blankets as winter is coming and the windows are dark and ominous at night now. Never bothered me during summer for some reason, but yes, it will behoove me to keep what heat I put on in the house not going out the window. I also hung up an old lampshade upside down. I might be having some kind of breakdown, but I got sick of the torn paper shade I had in the lounge. So yeah, that was kind of funny. Mama T is now roasting vegetables. Potato, sweet potato, capsicum, onion. I threw some rosemary on top. Himalayan salt, or Himalayan, same thing anyway. Salt, cracked pepper, peri-peri spice, some golden syrup, olive oil. It should taste very nice. A very strange thing just happened, chez moi. Chez moi is French for at my place. I mopped and vacuumed the floors. The foot on my vacuum cleaner broke as I was finishing off the lounge, but I continued intrepidly. First time I've cleaned floors in, too embarrassed to say, but it has been weeks. I now need to buy a new vacuum foot from Godfrey's. Instead, I bought a new vacuum because it was a really good price. So I'm happy and grateful with that too. I had a wonderful day, 19th of May 2016. I had a wonderful day and night with Lynn and Annette. Lynn, Danny, Amy and I had lunch together at Alexandra Hills Hotel. Amy was a friend of Danny's. Then Annette joined Lynn and I for the afternoon. We went to see Florence Foster Jenkins, which was hilarious. Then we had a cheese platter, thanks Annette, for dinner and sat by the chimney fire, drinking wine, supping on the yummy cheese, pate and Kransky sausage. Lynn's neighbour Carl played his karaoke in his shed, so we ended up singing along and dancing by our fire until his elderly mother told him it was too noisy, so he packed up and went to bed. A grown man, cranky at his mother, laughing my ass off. He was playing our favourite songs too. It was a beautiful night. The stars were smiling down upon us. The moon, just a whisker off being full. The air was still and fresh. Beauregard had a wonderful time too. He decided to chew the kindling we had for the fire, orally obsessive. Lynn gave us bags of Maltesers for the movies and a can of lemonade. Annette bought me a cappuccino. We all had a wonderful time, and I am grateful to my adopted sisters for spoiling me, feeling much loved. Lynn and Annette and I went to see Florence Foster Jenkins starring Meryl Streep and Hugh Grant. What a delightfully funny movie. I laughed all the way through it. Also, there is no hope for me yet. Also, there is hope for me yet. Superstar. And that's because I can't sing. Well, I can sort of sing, but I'm pretty tuneless most of the time, or I forget the lyrics, so I get halfway through a song and I just forget. And I don't have a great singing voice. So the joke was this movie, this Florence Foster Jenkins, was about a very wealthy woman who dreamed of being an opera singer but couldn't sing for shit. But because she was wealthy, or I can't remember exactly how it happened now, but I think her husband paid people to go to her concerts initially, and then it kind of took off. It became almost like unbeknownst to her, like a comedy thing where people would just go to concerts knowing she can't actually sing. And she became famous, a famous singer. And I'm just watching it going, oh, well, there's hope for me, right? And it was just hilarious. And yeah, I enjoy singing occasionally. There's a few videos on YouTube of me singing, and I find it a bit embarrassing, but I hand it up with my weird shamanic dancing as well for some of them, and it's kind of comical too. I too could be a Florence Foster Jenkins if I had a wealthy husband to buy votes for me. I mean, you have to laugh. But anyway, it was a gorgeous movie and heartfelt and sweet, and yeah, I enjoyed it. 19th of May 2015, 1:03 a.m, home safe, tucked up in bed, Lila Tov, which means I went dancing, but obviously I didn't have too much to say about it. Must have had a bad night. May 2014. Crystal invited me to celebrate her closing night of the play with her. She was tipsy, so she finally agreed to meet me at Irish Murphy's. When I got there, she was merrily chatting to some Americans. So I danced and let her have fun with her fellow actress Jane and their new friends. Then when the pub closed, Crystal and I went to the casino. By the way, this is very, very unusual and rare for my daughter to go dancing with me or be seen with me in a pub or a club in public. She never, ever, ever goes anywhere like that with me. So she must have been quite drunk or out of her mind. She actually went not just to Irish Murphy's with me, but followed me to the casino as well. It was very unusual for her to be out in the music scene with me. Extremely unusual. There she met a lovely Irish plumber from Belfast who jokingly offered to be the father of my grandchildren when I bemoaned the fact that I am a grandmother to my precious rabbit, Ramon. I thought that was very sweet of him, offering his services to the Aaron's women. A young man not put off by mad potential mothers-in-law and their desire for human progeny. Oh, alas, he was only joking. Or my Crystal didn't take him up on the offer, but oh, it was sweet. Wanted to make me a grandmother. Anyway, he was a nice young lad. I slept at Crystal's place. We went to bed at 5 a.m, had 6 hours sleep. Now heading home to feed the animals and get ready for my hairdresser. Tomorrow the car gets serviced, then I'm back to broke, sliding third base through life as usual. Gritty, but fun. I was talking in my sleep and trying to climb the wall. Not cool, people. That's my trauma issues. Crystal woke me up and we both laughed. It was awesome. Oh, it's very sweet of her for being so tolerant of her mad mother's antics while she's asleep. Perhaps that's why I'm so tired today. I was probably climbing the walls last night too. One can never tell from any day what state I'll be in. Anyway, here's a photo of Crystal wearing the hat in the background. And it's just delightful at the Anywhere Festival. I've forgotten the title of the play, but yeah, it was lovely. She looks so much like my mother-in-law here that I actually kind of freaked out and gasped and went, it's astonishing. Genetics, people, genetics. It's very astonishing how powerful they are. So don't let anybody fuck with your genetics, people. Stay human for as long as you can. Those of you who didn't take in the transubstantiation, I'm so proud of you for holding your line and using your noggin. But I've been gene altered too because I caught the fucking COVID, so that was the end of my pristine state. So we're all in this together, my darlings. Love is the law. Here she is, my beautiful girl. What was the name of that play? It was actually quite good. But then I've loved every play my daughter's been in. She's an excellent actress. Did she just poo on me? No. Thought she wiggled her ass, so I thought, oh, here we go. The tail swish. I'm trying to preempt her. The tail swish is usually a giveaway. Trying to preempt you on your poopykins, Charlie. May 19th, 2013. Zulu and Bella Rosa on my front steps. Oh, bless. They're all in Valhalla. Mum is all alone with the bird. Oh, Charlie, don't. Oh, my God. Charlie, that ass is not class. Bella Rosa's my little Pomeranian, and Zulu's my black. He was actually a Moggy, but he had very Persian fur. He was a fluffy Persian-looking cat, although he wasn't actually a Persian in like pedigree or anything like that. You pooed in my hair, didn't you, you demon bird? You're a demon bird. Look, that's not nice. What is that? Sticking like glue. Ugh. That one's got bones in it, Charlie. It's almost crusty. You had to do the worst poo of all in my hair, didn't you? It's deliberate. You don't like me very much, do you? You like all my children. You dishonour and disrespect me. But anyway, she's a bird. It's not like she's conscious of it, people. Or is she? Are you consciously being mean to me, pooping down my neck? Anyway, where were we? Yes, my beautiful cat and dog. 19th of May 2011. I planned on taking a bus to go to pick up my repairs at the jeweller's, but got put off because it is raining and my umbrella is missing. I'm going to burp, people, don't mind me. Pardon me. So my umbrella is missing. Not that it's a very good one anyway. Then I planned on going anywhere just to escape my hermitage. I need to escape your ass, Charlie. It's been constant. I need to escape you, Charlie. I'll leave you home alone. Mama, go somewhere nice. Yeah? That's how I'll get revenge on you, Charlie. I'll just leave you all alone in the house with the fairies and the pixies and the brownies and no doubt a few trolls as well. And you can just play and be a good little birdie and Mama will run amok. She says, you're full of it, Mama. You're not going anywhere today. You're too tired. Then I just gave in and watched TV all day, which was cool as I had terrible stomach pains all day. So probably a good thing I stayed home. What a life. Indeed, what a life. I just partook of a wonderful dinner lovingly. Ow, why are you pushing my hand away? And out of sheer hunger and desperation as well, prepared by me. It was so good. Oh, I ate 2 bowls of it. Beef, coconut milk, stir-fry veggies with chickpeas, not many veggies in the fridge, with real frozen curry leaves, soy sauce and peri-peri sauce just for kicks. It was awesome. Sigh. I seem to be able to throw yummy things together when I'm especially hungry, lol. Now I have a huge craving for berry pie, but no berries in the house. Oh! Actually, the craving for pie started yesterday, lol. Think I better eat more curry and rice noodles instead. I'm going to have to buy a curry tree for my garden. I love the flavours the leaves impart to any dish so much. Didn't bother. I've got so many trees in my garden, so I don't really have any room for any more trees, to be honest. So I could plant things out on the verge though. I've got swathes of land on my verge, but it's all just too much added work. I'm just tired. 19th of May 2011, 0.886 grams of years of dross, ugliness and slander perpetuated by my mother and Buck Shearer, posted to my lawyer yesterday. I don't even think the motherfuckers read it properly. They just sold me down the river. They really were cunts. It's the only word for them, and I'm sticking to that. So glad to get that evilness out of my house, and I hope my lawyer can make sense of it all, because I don't think I will ever come to terms with it myself. The scary thing is, I have plenty more documentation still here. Looking forward to making compost out of it one day, which I did indeed do. I either burnt it or I composted it all, because there was no sense in keeping that evil, disgusting energy in my home seeping down from the bookshelves like pus off the walls. I thought, it has to go. It's blocking me from joy. It's blocking me from true love. It's blocking me from prosperity. It's blocking me from better health, because it's just a seeping fucking wound, right? So I went out over the course of a few months and burnt it all or composted it all, and in the end, life did start to improve. It has improved quite markedly since then. The only thing I'm struggling now with is my health, but I've always struggled with my health since early childhood. So that's not actually a new manifestation of horror, but an old fucking trope that is just getting more and more debilitating, I guess, because I'm older now and I'm a bit more vulnerable, but it's just another long, hard battle I've been fighting for decades. But anyway, I'm going to have a sleep study done in the next few weeks. Hopefully my psychiatrist has to write a referral to the sleep company, and they come to your home, and it's bulk billed, I believe, and it's going to be a bit weird having a stranger in my house while I'm trying to sleep with electrodes attached to me, but it's kind of a bit more nicer than being in a hospital environment. So I'll have the sleep study, and we'll find out how bad my fucking lungs are now, how many times they shut down, and then I'll have to probably try the CPAP again, which I have no faith in, but they reckon that things have improved since 2003. I can only hope so. And maybe I'll get better and I'll have a full and vibrant, energized, energetic, vigorous, productive life. Or I don't get better and I die. It can swing either way, people. In the meantime, I'm just living my best life, dancing my dance, writing my writings, presenting my truth, and honouring my own being on this planet. I missed a whole lot of shitty poo bars there, didn't I? And just carrying on in some vague Pollyanna schoolgirlish hope that my true love manifests soon and we begin a wonderful life together. And that's another fantasy, I guess. And time will tell. Maybe in 12 months from now, people of Earth, I'll be presenting you a totally different reality, totally different videos, and with a wonderful man in my life, and telling you all our stories of our adventures that we do together. Hopefully someone that likes doing little day trips and having outings or travel, or just do nice things together. And who knows? It's in the lap of the gods, literally. And who knows what my fate will be. But in the meantime, I'm soldiering on and taking delight in the magic and the wonder and the awe of my life on planet Earth with my little Charlie. And yes, have a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the space-time continuum. It's currently 12:52 p.m, so still early afternoon here. So I'll have to find something else to do with my time. Hopefully I might even have a little bit of a rest and watch a bit of TV. I do feel quite weary today. And life is good, people, no matter what. Hold your line and manifest joy and be true to thine own self. Let the gods reveal true hearts and minds and let things all fall into place as they were always meant to be, and continue with your prayers and manifestations as I do, because it doesn't hurt to make a outspoken physical display to the gods of what it is you actually want, because they don't know unless you tell them. Sometimes I have to throw one hell of a tantrum to get heard and seen, but other times it just clicks. So I'll have to be patient, my beloved ones. I've been patient for 59 years. I can be patient for a bit longer. So bye for now. Take good care. Enjoy your life on planet Earth, and remember to be kind to each other. Blessed be. Bye for now from Sacred Space.